Today's lesson is over graphing linear equations. So, a linear equation is an equation of a line. So basically, if you have some equation and it graphs a straight line, it is considered a linear equation. There are three different forms of linear equations. Our first is being standard form. Standard form is in the form of ax plus by is equal to c. A, b, and c are just numbers, okay? So if I had 2x plus 3y is equal to 6, this would be in standard form. My x and my y are on the same side, and we have it equal to the number without a variable. So right here where it says where blank, blank, and blank are all integers, that would be a, b, and c. Integers are just whole numbers. You have to have a whole number. Alright, so on your paper it says determine whether each equation is a linear equation. If so, write the equation in standard form. So we have y equals 5 minus 2x. We need to determine if this is a linear equation. To be a linear equation, you have to have an x and a y. Does this equation have an x or a y? Yes, it does. It has both of them. So therefore, this is a linear equation. Now, we want to write this in standard form. So I want my x's and my y's on the same side, and my variable, or my term without a variable on the one side by itself. So I'm going to move this 2x over. So to move this 2x, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Can I combine y and 2x? No, I can't combine them because they are not the same variable. They are not like terms. So when I write that, I'm going to put my x out first because in standard form, the x comes first. Plus y is equal to, those canceled, and I was left with just a 5. 2x plus 5 is equal to y. Therefore, it is a linear equation, and this is in standard form. The next example is 2xy minus 5y is equal to 6. Ask yourself, how is this different than one of these? Well, if you notice, this part right here, we have 2xy. What is happening between the x and the y? Well, they're being multiplied. Is there anything in our standard form equation that looks like this? No, there is not. Also, you can notice that there are 2 y's. I cannot have 2 y's. So therefore, this is not a linear equation. I need only one x and one y. We're going to look at 2 more examples. Number 3, you have 3x plus 9y is equal to 15. Is this a linear equation? We have 1x, 1y, so therefore, yes, this is a linear equation. Is this in standard form? Well, I have my x's on each side, my x and my y on the same side, equal to the number without a variable, so it looks like it's in standard form. But what's special between 3, 9, and 15? Well, they all are divisible by 3. So when you're working in standard form, they all need to be in the smallest form possible. So if I were to divide this entire thing by 3, I would be left with 3 divided by 3 is 1x, plus 9 divided by 3, which is 3y, and 15 divided by 3, which is 5. This would be my standard form of this equation. And our last one, number 4, we have 1/3 y equals -1. So, is this a linear equation? Well, let's talk about it. There's a y, but there's not an x. So let's get, first we have to get this 1/3 away, okay? We need it to be an integer, right? A whole number. So if I wanted to get this 1/3 to be a whole number, I'm going to multiply the entire equation by whatever the denominator is. So the denominator here is 3. So when I multiply there, 3 times 1/3 is 1y, or just y, equals 3 times -1, -3. So I'm left with y equals -3. Is that a linear equation? Again, we only have a y. Where is my x? Well, let's talk about it. What if I had 0x plus y is equal to -3? Are those the same? Yes, they are the same. Therefore, I do have my x over here and my y. Therefore, they are the same equation. So therefore, this is a linear equation. The next section, we are going to graph by making a table. So if our equation is x plus 2y is equal to 6, we're going to make a table x and y. You're going to choose values of x to plug in. So plug in -2, 0, 2, 4, and 6. These values do not matter. You could plug in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 100, 1,000. It doesn't matter which values you're choosing. I randomly chose -2, 0, 2, 4, and 6. You're going to plug in -2 for the x. So over here, -2 plus 2y is equal to 6. Add 2 to both sides. 2y is equal to 8. Divide, y is equal to 4. We're going to do that with each value. So I'm going to plug in 0. 0 plus 2y is equal to 6. 0 cancels. Divide by 2. Y is equal to 3. You're going to continue to do this for 2, 4, and 6. You get 2, 1, and 0. So now I have my ordered pairs, -2, 4, 0, 3, 2, 2, 4, 1, and 6, 0. And you're going to plot those on the graph. -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1, and 4, 1, and 6, which I don't have on the graph, 0. And what do you notice? It makes a nice straight line, and you're going to connect it and put arrows. Whoops, that's a crooked line. Put arrows on the end. And you're going to do the same thing for the next two. Number 2. Number 2 is 1/2 y minus x is equal to 1. So you can use your chart, x, y, and plug in. Again, you can choose your any value of x. I'm going to plug in -2, 0, 2, 4, and 6. So plug these values into x and y. If you plug in -2, you have 1/2 y minus -2 is equal to 1. And solve this for y. Negative times a -2 is positive 2 is equal to 1. Subtract 2. 1/2 y is equal to 1 minus 2, which is -1. Multiply each side by 2. Y is equal to -2. Plug in 0. 1/2 y is minus 0 is equal to 1. So you get 1/2 y is equal to 1. Multiply each side by 2. y equals 2. And you're going to do the same for 2, 4, and 6. So you should get 2 is 6, 4 is 10, and 16 is 14. And you're going to plot these points. So my chart only goes up by 5s. So I'm going to make each one worth 2. So 2, 2, 0, oops, sorry, 2, negative 2, negative 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8, 10, and you're going to have one more up at the top. So then you're going to connect these points with a arrowed line. The next two, you will do the same thing. They are y equals, 6 minus y is equal to 2x. Make a table and graph it. And the last one, y plus 5 is equal 0. Make a table and graph it. As you're finishing up, take a look and make sure you're doing it correctly. Your chart should be negative 2, 10, 0, 6, 2, 2, 4, negative 2, and 6, negative 6. Your line should be, I went up by 2's again, and then it should look like something similar to that. Number 4, I have no x. So if I subtracted 5 from each side, I'd have y is equal to negative 5. So I've messed up. So this should be y is equal to negative 5. So when I graph this, I'm going to go down the y-axis to negative 5. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line. That tells me that y is negative 5 in each x that I choose. So if I chose 1, in my chart, x and y, 1, there's nowhere to plug in, so y is always 5. 0, negative 5. Negative 1, negative 5. 10 would be negative 5. No matter what, my y is 5. That concludes the